Why does Bruno have such a strange room? Why doesn't Bruno love the blue part of the family madrigal? Was Bruno really dancing on the second floor? Answers to all questions about Bruno Madrigal in this video. Yeah, not geek with you. I will present you a fun theory that will answer, which will explain all the incomprehensible moments in the Encanto cartoon. Here and questions that haunted me. Bruno's uncomfortable room. While this test, why the abyss? I think there was a shaky bridge over it before. Most importantly, why fall into a pile of sand? I wouldn't go to bed in such a room. Sleep by the door. They have a rule: don't mention Bruno, but only the yellow part of the family does not like him. Juliet is bitter about the loss of her brother. Why was there not foresight for Louise? Didn't the girl want to get it? Dolores has it, Isabella has it, but she doesn't. Bruno will hardly say anything pleasant. You will lose your strength and you will feel guilty. Maybe he didn't want to upset the girl and didn't say anything. He only does not feel sorry for Pepe's family. Why does Mirabel hardly remember him? She knows he was such an uncle. He knows he's gone. He knows he sees the future. All. She has no memories of her aunt, unlike Camilo, and they are 1 year old. Why did he scare Camilo? The boy was frightened twice, once while Bruno was in the family. Because Camilo knows that his uncle has green eyes. They are so only joining the right of foresight. Why did Bruno calm him down? The second time he scared the boy when he left. That's why Camilo remembers the rats on his back and says this his uncle will call and disappear. Why scare on purpose? Why talk about Dolores but future? This is very strange, compared to Isabella and Luis. If he simply told Isabel what he saw, Luis said nothing. Dolores could not say anything bad, but he felt the girl to live without hope of love. How did he make such a move near Dolores' room? Bruno saw Mirabel's future and decided to leave. How is it possible to make such a manhole in the night near the room of a person with incredible hearing? Elsa moved a furniture there. Why was Pepe's wedding ruined? As we have learned, the storm was not even prophetic. He simply told the bride that she was sweating. A person in his right mind does not do that, and I hope that in Bruno the triple of personality has already appeared in the walls of Casita. Why did Bruno not apologize for 10 years? After Pepe's wedding, Mirabel was at least 10 years old and Bruno did not apologize. One could say that he could not find the words, or did not understand that he had offended his sister. But a first thing he does when they meet is apologize for a wedding, and choose his words very well. Was it possible to abandon the mother? A difficult hour. Alma asked Bruno to look into the future, and he lived. He did not help the dearest person. Did he save Mirabel? No, he only made it worse. Imagine what your family thought about a girl who lost a magic and a relative disappeared because of protection about her. He did not defend Mirabel, but is frightened. He did not find the strength to tell his mother the terrible truth. He is a coward. I also interlake him up with a theory that would explain all these questions. Bruno is a great mapper, a man who can see the future, knew everything in advance. Well, let's do the theory by rats, as Mirabel was led to Bruno. So, listen, he was preparing for life in prison, because it could not be otherwise. And where it confirms point 7, he made the passage in advance, even before receiving the gift of Dolores, and most likely not on night, so that not on heart or soul it. It took years for the Shawshank Redemption, and he still brought furniture to himself. Morpheus' chair, hammock, table, only did it take a plate. Maybe it was Alma's favorite set, and he didn't want to upset her even more. He also prepared Mirabel for this, to guide her in this way and to prepare her. This is evidenced by Bruno's strange room, a step in the unknown, exhausting state, a frightening abyss. All this to make Mirabel stronger, more determined. Jared Bush, the director of the cartoon, said that the rooms meet the needs of the owner. This was Bruno's need to find a prophecy and make Mirabel brave. The relatives knew about the prophecy and could not find it, and Mirabel wouldn't have found if the door hadn't closed. She saw the wreckage in the dark and the rats running around the room hint that this is Bruno's business. They work for Bruno. This explained first questions. But Mirabel is not only afraid of circumstances. Bruno continues to prepare her not to be afraid of relatives. That is why Mirabel needs to be intimidated, and then forced to always come this fair. And the Yellow family frightened the girl. Pepe, Dolores and Camilo, they were all angry at Bruno, frightened. They pass on that fear and anger to Mirabel. This creates the second obstacle of the hero. This is the second stage of preparation. Bruno needed Mirabel to scare him, but not all my life, but only now. Therefore, she will receive information from the Pepe family. And this explains the night 8 and 6 questions. Bruno did this on purpose, to be bad in the eyes of this part of the family. In order for Mirabel to know all this in an instant. In order to the hero to have a choice, Bruno had a good relationship with Julia's family. Mom, dearest persons, perceives Bruno's disappearance is a tragedy and misses him. Isabella gives a good prophecy, and Louise does not give at all. In addition, Louise, who has no bad attitude towards Bruno, tells Mirabel where to go and what to look for. She does not give it a bad prediction so that Louis's brain would not be poisoned by anger. So she pointed the direction to the main character. And so we answered the second and third questions. Why doesn't Mirabel remember him? Bruno deliberately avoided her so that his own attitude would not prevented him from making an important decision. Go to prison. Do not be afraid of a terrible relative. Be ready for anything for the sake of the family. This was the second stage of preparation. And this explains the false questions. And the proof is the rats. They brought Mirabel to Bruno. They led me to these thoughts. Grabbing parts of the prophecy, they ran from the kitchen past Mirabel to the second floor for a picture. Didn't you find that strange? Bruno's room in the gates is a wall, and these are rats that have had to make holes in the wall for years to steal food, but they led Mirabel to Bruno. It is very difficult to catch up with the rat, but I seem to be waiting for the girl on the second floor. This rat stuck under the picture just waited for this, waiting to show where the entrance to Bruno's hideout. You say, a fool, coincidence. Okay, how long Mirabel looked at the picture, how slowly she pressed, how she looked to the entrance, and gathered her strength to step into the terrible traps. All this time, the rat waiting, and only then run, not surprising. And Bruno, who saw Mirabel, opened the passage. He didn't even take a step behind the wall. He paused, he waited, and he deliberately scared. His task was to make Mirabel incredibly determined, one who is not afraid of relatives, one who will look for a common language for the sake of the family. Bruno was preparing Mirabel for a conversation with Isabella. So said a person who has gone through terrible circumstances, a person who was able to overcome the fear of the terrible relative, does not give in to his own bad attitude towards his sister, and then she was able to understand her grandmother. By the way, about Alma, why did Bruno leave her? Because it was necessary. The prophecy demanded it. And Alma was not ready to realize that family was more important to her than magic. Bruno became a great martyr, living in prisons, going mad. He deliberately insulted his family. He had hard for years, they said it, not what to mention him, because there was not other way. He is a Terry. If you like it, click like. If you want more, I can translate the analysis of Encanto's characters. I had a lot of videos, but unfortunately I don't know English. Google to help me. If you want to listen to the other videos in such a horrible versions, write about it. Goodbye. Who danced to the second floor? He whose eyes glow green, and in Bruno they burn so much only during the rite of first sight. He did the previous one when Miri was 5. He hadn't done the next one. So, this is Camilo. The case is open.